everyone, yet again to another Ticket Freaks 212. I'm your host, Carlos, and as always, we're here to talk to you about movies. On today's movie topic, we're discussing Flight. Now, keep in mind, this is a spoiler alert. So, if you don't want the movie to be spoiled, watch the other movie video segment where it will give you an idea if you want to see it or not. Like I said, let's begin with Flight. Okay, so let me give you the whole story of the film. The story of the film is Denzel Washington is this complete addict who at some point finally gets caught on in a situation where his drinking or his addiction has caught him in a bad situation where he saved lives, but then he might have been the cause of the lives being taken away as well. And he's caught in this conflict of whether to tell the truth or not, and then his guilt just gets deep and pushed down from all the things he does, which is drugs and alcohol and so forth, in order to keep himself sane. Now, he meets this girl, Kelly Riley, who is actually also an addict, who I really didn't think she actually did such a great job in the film, but I will say that her story, her background story of her playing this drug addict who meets Denzel and they get together, but really she's trying to, I guess, help him in a sense, and Denzel is just continuing to ignore the idea that he has a problem. Though he did have a life-threatening situation where he almost saw the light, but then once he found out that he might have been the cause of that, he just went back on that wagon again. Now, John Goodman, I believe his name is Greenbush or something, I can't remember the other actor's name, sorry, forgive me. These guys were all in the film, and I loved the constant argument between Don and Denzel, where Don is pretty much saving Denzel's life, even though he really doesn't like Denzel's character. So he's just like, I really don't, it's just one of those things where he's doing it pretty much for the money and the cost of it. But he knows that Denzel is completely guilty. John Goodman playing the guy who just wants to provide whatever he can in order to help his good pal, even though he's really just making him actually distracted by the idea of what he did. You don't really see John Goodman too much in the film, I'll say that. But just the premise of the idea that there's a guy who saved so many lives, he was a captain who was flying a plane and saved so many lives, but his addiction might have cost him the lives of others, and might have, during the weather and all this stuff, he was on the way to being free. But at the same time, you couldn't know if it was going to be, at that point, if he was going to tell the truth, or he was just going to keep living a lie. Even though he had all the opportunity to, and it kept going back and forth, where they might have found something, and then they didn't find something. And then there was something that was hard evidence, and then there wasn't hard evidence. It just kept going back and forth, and what's going to happen? Is he going to submit, or is he going to get caught? It was one of those things where you just couldn't get enough of the idea of what was going to happen. In the end, it was the icing on the cake. I gotta say that far as budget-wise, let's see here. $161 million it made, and $31 million to make it. Wow. Production has got to be like, all right, this was our film. This was our year. As far as ratings went on this film, on this thing, let me see here. Rotten Tomatoes rated at 78%. IMDb rated at 7.3. Now, that's not bad, I guess, but to me, it was really a good film. I will say from 1 being bad to 5 being a must-see film, I'm going to rate it at a 4. I gotta say, I love the story. I love Denzel's conflict and his suspense and the mystery of his situation, and Don and Denzel's conflict between each other. I just didn't like that all the characters were a little bit not as interesting enough, or there was maybe they just didn't put enough to me in their performance. John Goodman didn't really have to, I guess. But Kelly Riley was the drop to me that really kind of gave the point away to the film, because she didn't take, I mean, they kept making her seem like she was so beautiful during the film, and I really didn't think she was that beautiful, and her performance wasn't really that great. For any questions or comments or concerns, please wait at the end of the credits, and it will give you a contact information where you can reach me to ask me about movies. That's going to do it for us today, guys. I hope you guys enjoy the show. Please subscribe or tell a friend, and I hope to see you guys next time, okay? Peace.